Alright, what is up guys? It's Zura here, and it's time for episode 1 of I need suggestions for title. But this will be the start of a series where you guys send me in replays and your deck list, and I roast the shit out of you. But it'll be the good kind of roast because I will critique your gameplay and hopefully you can play better. So first submission is by I'd say pretty regular viewer Chasing Haze. So he chose to send me Genesis for all this stuff. So first we'll go over the deck list, and then we'll go over the replays. If you guys want me to review your deck lists and your replays, you can either email it to me, you can DM it to me on Discord, or any of those things are fine. I'll have links down below where you can contact me if you actually want to do it. So I am looking forward to doing more of these, so please send me your replays and deck list. I need free content. So first up is Chasing Haze's Genesis list. The list itself looks more or less fine. It's pretty fine. It's pretty much just the list I played. So four of all these good cards. Not much I can say here. He's playing 2 Minervas. I personally wouldn't play 2, but there's nothing too wrong with this because Nyx is actually not the best card in the world, but yeah, 2 Minerva's fine. Nothing really wrong with this. This list is relatively standard, I'd say. Obviously, I'm not gonna say anything too bad because this is basically my list. So yeah. So we'll get the first replay. I don't know how many games this is, so I'm just gonna go over it. Just watch this as it is. So who is his first opponent? Or what is his first opponent going to play? It is what? What is this? Shadow Paladin. So I don't think Global has a. Pretty sure this is before let's call it RPBA. So this is like regular Avengers. First thing to judge is Mulligan. How does he Mulligan here? Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, there definitely is an argument to hold the thing, the cider, but he doesn't have a grade 3 in hand, so there isn't. You probably do want to try and mull at least something for it. You're an extra PD, which is always good. So Mulligan is fine. Yeah, there definitely is an argument to hold the cider, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Yes, Cumin is absolutely the right here. Given the choice of these 2 cards, Cumin is absolutely the choice, but this can be used later to do things. Cumin works on Vanguard as well, so yeah, Cumin is definitely the correct right here. Yeah, turn 1, you're going first too, so not much else to do here. So his opponent is taking his time. For sure is taking his time. And attacking, nothing else. Nothing really wrong here. Opponent's playing fine too. Gets the draw, always nice. Gets the Hemira. Alright, so gets a good ride as well. So yeah. Obviously here, your choices here are Hespirus, or Hemira. Hemira doesn't do anything here, and you want this card in Soul, so obviously yes, this is the correct ride. Which one you write here doesn't really make a difference, obviously. So he chooses the aggro here. We'll see if he gets punished first. Alright, so he does get punished here. I can understand the logic behind doing this, of putting this one extra out, because you have the Hemira and the Shiny Angel to put it into the next turn. But because he rode the Cumin already, to get to the 3 soul to be able to draw with the Nyx, I personally would have held this in. I personally would not have played this out. I would have just gone Vanguard. Because for A, they're not scaling, and B, you already have the 3rd soul. So you don't need to have this in drop and then use this to get the 3rd soul in the following turn. So I personally wouldn't have done it, and he did get punished for it, so this was actually a bad play. Because he got punished for it. But yeah. I can understand why you'd go for it, just because getting the extra experience from the soul isn't bad. Alright, so opponent runs mana. He's not going to use it. Calls another mana. Is he going to call Shadow Lancer to reward it? Nope, call the Doran. I'm just going to critique his opponent too. Why the hell would you call Doran here? The Doran goes back into your deck after this, and this is a card you actually want to draw into. So you're effectively, you're like pseudo losing one copy of it. So I would have called anything but this. I would have called anything but Doran here if I were the opponent. Opponent gets a draw 2. And it has piercing damage. Yeah, Nyx, obviously that's the only thing you have to ride here. Great skill. Draw 3, yes. Another card. And then Yep. That is absolutely correct. I would. Let's see if he does anything else here first. All right, this is very greedy. For one, all right, so I probably would not have put this out. So that's just me. I personally would not put this out. But if you were to put this out, I personally would have put down one of these, probably the Cider, just because if he kills either of these two, they go into Soul, and they do end up being a fodder for the next to get crit. And by putting this between this makes 18. This isn't scaling. This is 11 and 16. His Vanguard's 8. So if he has a defensive and you blank again, this isn't hitting here. I personally would have made an 18 column here if I wanted to push for damage. Yeah, obviously use Hesper, so you kill the Judge Bow. Very good. Gets a draw, so even if he didn't, then he wouldn't have gotten punished. So I guess it's fine since he didn't get punished for it. But I personally would have just made an 18 column, just to make sure it hit. I assume his opponent would have a more. Alright. I don't know why. I don't know why his opponent didn't call a Shadow Lancer off of the mana to throw away the Deermood for a Mordred, but I guess his opponent wanted to ride Deermood really bad. Part 2. Rodorn. The BDR. Is he gonna use it? Alright. Okay. Okay. I see. Okay. That was very questionable. His opponent is not the best at this game, to say the least. That was a very big waste of 2 Counter Blast. I don't know why he searched the Mordred after he already rolled grade 3, but I guess bad players are bad for a reason. This is actually very awkward. I'll let him do his thing first. Yeah, Soul Blast here is right, because you do want to proc push to Hesperus to just nuke his entire back row here. So it's actually very good. But he actually does have a single intercept in his hand right now. Actually, I'm gonna see what he does first. I want you to see what he does first. That's fine. You need to put something out here right now. Put 1, 2, 3. Yep, I would have done the same thing. Battle phase or alright. So before we get to that bit, I'm just gonna say this was probably the correct play. I would have done the same thing. The other line of play was to Legion, although in my opinion there was no reason to Legion, just because you weren't doing anything even when you Legion. You would have maybe used the starter, put 2 draws back. This is definitely the better play because there's no need to Legion here, because you don't do anything even if you do Legion here. And if you see more triggers, you can put those triggers back on the following turn because you didn't Legion. So this was the correct play. There's no reason to Legion here. You definitely do not click the Legion button just because you can click the Legion. This also denies counter blast, so your opponent can't BDR or anything here for a thing, because you kill the Dorndog. Blank and blank, so no extra triggers seen. So unfortunately, you can't put any extra back with Legion next time. One thing to note though, the Cider does make it more awkward, and with no intercepts, your opponent isn't obligated to give you any damage. But you do have the you do have Soul Blast 3, so you can filler drop up whenever you need to. So, Legion is always an option next turn for you as well. Although it is really awkward with Nyx because Nyx needs the Soul Blast to get the crit, and if you Soul Blast to fulfill drop zone for Legion, you can't get the Soul Blast off again on that ball. Tower 2 again, but you did force him to commit a bunch of counter blocks, so he doesn't have any counter blocks to play with for this turn. That's Tower 2 here. Pause the Mordred, so you do know you had that. This is... Alright, so regardless of this heal trigger, this attack order is very wrong, because this thing is hidden. This thing has the +3 case skill, right? So the reason why this attack order is straight up wrong is because 11 and 13 are the same thing. So this lane is obviously swinging last, right? Obviously this is swinging last, but Vanguard lane should be going first here, because let's just say this wasn't a heal trigger. If you flip a heal, you're not healing here. So this attack order is actually just wrong in every way. You definitely should swing Vanguard here first. And this is... I guess he wanted to do this, but I still don't agree with it. Okay, so because he healed, he gets the heal as well, and he gets the PG check. Kills the rear. That was the right rear to kill. I don't understand why he did that order like this, but I still personally think that there wasn't just like swing rear thing, or just swing Vanguard first. So this turn you have Resoul. Yeah, definitely Legion here first. Legion here first is definitely correct. Because I didn't exactly get a chance to see what was in the soul, but you definitely want to at least try to get the crit off here. Oh, he does have the Hemira in here, so you definitely... Yes, you knew this first, that's fine too. Very, very good soul charges, right? That was double chamomile. Yeah, the heal's whatever, but you got double chamomile. So now your Soul Blast is probably going to be... Let's see what he does. Picking the board, understandable. 2, 3. Yep, hour done same thing. Let me see if he actually does this first. Whoops, I done. Yep. That is correct, because the Hemira for the crit, the chamomile for an intercept, and the Hesterus to kill off the door. That was exactly what you should have called here. The other option here was to not get the crit and call double intercept, but in the position you're in right now, where you have what was it, 1 PG, 1 PG, 1 intercept, and you kill this off, unless they have another door and a BDR in hand, you're fine. And Cider to loop the chamomile back into soul, very good. And then crit checks for a PG as well. You can also get a chance to heal, and you can draw it off, which is really good. So draw into a PG, okay, so you straight up cannot die anymore. And the heal makes it so you definitely cannot die. Any bullshit of any kind. So, this game is pretty much over. At this point, this game is pretty much over. Called the Raging Form, called the BDR. No, and because he's been killing Dorrance the entire game, you can't use the BDR for anything here. Okay, yeah, and then you stack the RFD off to try to get the crit check kill here. Yeah, this is just confirmed lethal. He has 1 card in his hand right now. 1 card in his hand, he does have more than enough soul to do the Aegis Steel shot here. So this is just guaranteed lethal. I don't know how much. I don't know how much heals the opponent is out. I think he's out like 2 or 3 heals from what I've been seeing. This is mildly questionable. This is a little questionable. There's no reason a Soul Blast has Purus out here, because he doesn't have a backward for you to kill anyway. Well, this is all just going through the motion. There's no point. It actually doesn't matter what happens to you. The point's just dead. They can't survive this. And even if they even in best case scenarios where they either heal out or they hit like draw trigger into a PG or grade 3 to live this, they still lose. That is correct because placement here is also good here because this definitely should be behind the Vanguard instead of this because this is a Regalia name, meaning if this game does go on for any longer, you can still do the Soul Blast to draw if you need to like re-Legion and you need the extra card in the back for the Soul Blast. So, yeah, this is right. And unboosting here, not boosting here is also right because you have Hesperises. Oh, the opponent did hit a draw trigger. Blast 6, so you definitely blast out. Yeah, saving a Chamomile here. Saving a Chamomile here is definitely correct because he hit the defensive. There's no guarantee that this lane will be hitting. That both lanes will be hitting here. Yeah. So even if the opponent miraculously lives here, like best case scenario for the opponent here is that they top decked PG in their grade 3, and then they 6 heal this. They're still going into turn with 1 card. And they still have to deal with double. So this is just straight up checkmate. That PG was unnecessary. So he doesn't touch. He did not touch exactly what he needed. That's game 1, and then let's watch one more. He did send me some extra one. I'll do the Liberator. So game 2, he's playing as Liberators now. Going first, you never want to go first in Legion format. Let's see the mulligan here. Alright, so I'll get that out of the way first. There's nothing wrong with this mulligan. I'm just a greedy piece of shit. If it were me, I would have mulled all my grade 3s back, but because you're going first, there definitely is an argument to hold the white grade 3. The reason I would mull everything back here is because in Genesis, if you play in the deck with 8 Legions, or I guess it's 7, but that's only 1 card difference. But in a list with 8 Legions and 4 Angelicas, you have 12 valid first rides, so you don't mind which grade 3 you draw into as long as it's not the one of. So I personally do like to just chuck every grade 3 back because I don't want triggers in my hand. But since you're going first here, you holding the 1 is definitely fine. Nothing wrong with that. And he didn't mulligan into a much better hand because he tossed like 2 grade 3s back, drew an extra side and a PG. Right here, I don't think it matters. I actually don't think it matters what you ride here. Like when it comes down to a situation like this, when it comes down to a situation like this, where you have to choose between a Shiny Angel or Cider, I think it comes down to whatever you value. Again, I don't think it makes any difference here what he rode. It's just kind of the preference. I think minimal optimizations wise, I think Cider is probably better. Right, and Cider is probably better. Just because this card is easier to use early on as opposed to Cider. Holy shit, I can't talk. I got the Angelica too, so I'll use options to ride here. No options to ride for grade 2 here. Alright, so again, this isn't scaling, but the difference here is you didn't ride the Cumin, so you don't have the 3rd soul. If he plans to ride next after this is fine. If he was going to ride Angelica after this, I would have held the Hesperius. Especially since you're sitting on Break Ride, you don't want to overcommit a hand because you need cards to play out before you get to Break Ride. So, the play here highly depends on what he wants to ride on a follow. If he rides Nyx, this play was fine. If he rides Angelica, I would have helped the Hesperius. And also because he hit the draw early, you actually did have the extra card in hand, so you're not running super low on reasons for anything. So, yeah. And he does get punished again, so depending on what he rides here, the play will see if that was a good play or not. Why not Blast Blade? No Aglavales here yet on global, so you can't just get a free board. You can't just get board for free. All right, this is absolutely terrible. This is not something you should do. As for the opponent, if you can't afford to commit a card out to hit for a damage, just hold this in your hand. they very clearly there are Hesperioses everywhere here. So this thing is going to die, whether you put it out, whether you attack with it or not. There was no reason for this error. Just swing at this and pass. And wow, a Paladin isn't doing anything. So this play was absolutely terrible. He should not have done it. Alright, so he chose to ride Angelica, which is fine, but I will say, because he chose to ride the Angelica, the play on the following turn was the incorrect play because he's going to stay on Break Ride, you want to have the resources to play the game while on Break Ride. And wasted a card for no reason. And you also don't need the third soul because the thing is so blasting for your dog. And Hesperus. I actually do agree with this attack order. Because by doing this, it lets you actually check for triggers first, and to see if you can hit or not here. I don't think it was a wrong thing to kill here, just because you have Hesperus set up to kill this card later anyways, and you don't really have much cards of value for them to kill using the balance. So I think this order was fine. It also lets you play for a heal, so you didn't mind if you blanked and the opponent you can't hit the anchor. I think that order is actually fine. So that doesn't catch up on damage, so the opponent this play is fine for the opponent. This is very greedy. I would not have done. Just as a play, just something for the opponent. I would have just swung 2 and passed. The reason I wouldn't, for one, you're giving the point break right here if you do manage to connect all 3. For 2, your lanes aren't scaling. 11, 19, 16. If this was 21, okay, sure, whatever. If they get no defensive hits, but you were just straight up on a 1 pass here. You're straight up on a 1 pass in best case scenario, so I think this play's terrible. I would have held. Attack order here is also bad because this is an on-hit skill with the Wingle, and I'd assume you'd want to search the blade here, so I don't know why he's swinging rear first. No defensive, so I guess he doesn't get punished for it. But does he see the trigger, though? He doesn't see the trigger, so he doesn't have to blast the blade third. A lot of PGs. This hand's actually not good. Just because of the fact that your hand's a bunch of PGs. You're not playable. This is where putting down the Hesperus turn 2 made a difference. Because if you just held that Hesperus in hand, you could have pushed an extra damage here if you wanted to. Or at least attempt to push an extra damage. To push the 5 to get a better kill turn to get a better shot at killing on the following turn. Yeah, that's where the Hesperus would have made. Because you would have had an extra attacker here. As Hesperus hits that, Nyx hits into that, and then Vanguard can go face for 2 damage. Zenith. I would not use the Blast Blade. That's a huge waste of time. But I guess he wants to waste his Counter Blast. So, hey, sure. Okay, yeah, this is the correct order. Unboosted first and spinning. Yeah, this is the correct order. But this is at most checking for 2 PGs. Oh, the Leo Barris. It is hitting, but I don't know why you're playing that card. No triggers. We lose 2 PGs here, and then let's see how he tries to kill him. Angelica. So, because you're basically about to lose the game, if you don't kill this turn, or at least clear their board off this turn, yeah, you definitely don't ride the Angelica. You definitely don't Soul Blast Angelica. You also wanna Soul Blast out the heal that lead him back. Check off 5. Add. I think this is very easy. Yeah, you had the 2 non-triggers. That's quite obvious here. Not a whole lot of anything else you'd add here. Yep. Oh, his entire board is dead. If he does the play here, right, the opponent's entire board is dead here. One Hesperus has already been procced. That's fine. you are in a very bad spot if they do end up living here. So I think so. So putting the heal back is definitely fine here. Otherwise, if you're in a spot where you had more PGs in hand, I definitely would have held the heal just because it's a potential attacker. But in a situation like this, I think it's fine to put the extra heal back. Yep, that's correct too. Just because I'm pretty sure Soul didn't have anything that got the Nyx the crit here, so you need to put the Nyx back into Soul, and obviously it has Pierce because you want to Soul Blast those back out after. Yep, that's fine too. Obviously you'd be quite a good player if you managed to redraw that one PG here, but like there's not too many putting draws back if you don't have PGs to stack into it. That's all. Leaving those 4 back are fine. That was a very bad draw. Let me just go back to the left. Alright, so you actually have some choices here. If you think you can draw into an intercept, you can hold this in Soul and still blast all these out. But so actually, if you have an intercept in hand, well, he clearly doesn't. So this is fine. This is fine because you get the crit to damage deny, you push lethal, so you can kill rears off if you need to. He already has one hit Pierce in proc, so this kills off 2 boosters. But if he had the extra intercept here, he definitely could have chose to pop in extra Pierce off instead. But in this given situation, this is fine. So you call that out for double intercept, Pierce, another proc, so you can kill off all the rears here. You have nothing else to do, so you swing. Vanguard first. Yes, correct. That's correct. You definitely kill off Balin and the Barkle. Yeah, definitely correct. The dog isn't doing anything, or the wing will do. Alright, there's the PG. And yes, killing rear here is absolutely correct. Killing rear here is absolutely correct. You don't want to give him a free attacker, because you are actually dead to Zenith right now. You want to at least bare minimum force him to commit his entire hand out if he wants to go for Zenith, or if he has even 1 PG in hand here, he doesn't commit his entire hand out here to do anything unless he has another solo attacker. So he does commit the PG. I don't know why he committed only 1 PG, but I guess. So this is definitely his opponent playing really badly. I definitely do not agree with this. What his opponent plays. So just to make a very, very easy observation here, this last card in hand, I can guarantee you is PG. By doing it like this, he basically is saying, I'm gonna commit 1 and then hope I win fast. Otherwise, this PG would have been wasted. I would just committed both PGs and went for game here. Because from given information, unless he's here, drew the 1 PG he Legion back into his deck, this is confirmed lethal. Because there's 1 PG here, 1 in damage, or 1 in drop, and 1 in death, right? I'm pretty sure all 4 PGs were confirmed, like, somewhere on the board. Or, like, all the locations all the PGs were known. You knew he had at most 1 PG in hand, so I would have just gone for lethal here. Obviously, seeing as he drew into a heal, he would have 6 healed here, but in that given situation, I definitely do think going for game was more correct than playing it safe like this. Yeah, so he doesn't have anything to get crit here, so you do just do it like this. Called double intercept. And pop the I think you actually pop the PG here. It's something that can boost your swing with on the rear. So I definitely think you pop the PG. Slider, just because if you do live the turn, you want these back into your soul. And you definitely go for game here, or at least attempt to go for game. So let's see if my prediction right. Was that last card hand a PG? Yeah, you kill the PG here. That's definitely the right thing to kill. Draw trigger into not the PG, and draw trigger into not the PG. So yeah, so say outright. It's very easy to make little simple observations like this when you see their hand. He had two PGs in. He called one. Very obvious. The other one was a PG. If there was anything else, he would have just called that card. And yeah, the opponent cannot do anything here because of the fact that he has nothing to swing with. So this is game just from starving them out of resources. The seal is whatever. It's mildly annoying, but the seal is honestly whatever. And he did draw the Hemira and the Shiny Angel, so he can just break him to death here. You don't ride, you just use this, grab something and get crit. Yep. And then you crit for lethal. And hope that draw trick wasn't into a PG. Yeah, that's fine, because you don't really need the camos right now. You can just use the one. You just call the ones out of your hand. And this is lethal. This is just lethal. Unless he drew the PG. In which case, even if he did, he's going into turn with one card in hand. There's a set PG, and there's a draw into a probably. Wow, how did I know? How did I know he'd draw into a heal? Not like it matters. His opponent has one turn. Yeah, it was a PG. So, just a little thing to note. I think the biggest thing in both those games was the turn 2, where you're putting out the extra Hespio stuff for no reason, just because you wanted to push for damage and you got punished for it. So I think that's just the thing to note there. You probably shouldn't do that for the most part, unless you're actually just swimming in resources. I definitely don't think Genesis is a deck that can afford to just put a board out turn 2 like this every time. So, just something to note. Like, obviously, if you're answering your opponent's board because they put intercepts out, you kind of have to do it. But in a situation where you're the one who has to decide if you want to put an extra card out to try to push for extra damage, I definitely think you should. So, I sure hope someone learned something from this, whether it be Chasing Haze himself or someone else watching this. If you want to be critiqued by me, send me a replay. It's absolutely free. I'm not charging anything for this. You just send it, and I will look over stuff. I'll play Jack Doctor for you, and then also critique your gameplay. And then usual stuff, like and subscribe. Smash that like button. Yeah, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.